Well, just working on my CD collection. I just bought a new shelf today, and yeah, it's awesome. Worked out great. Got it for 15. I actually paid. They delivered it, and I paid an extra 5. So I told them to keep the change. I had 20 in my pocket, so keeps all the games in neat storage, the way I like it. And of course, it's got a CD shelf. I got a lot of CDs, as you can see. I collect them. I used to collect records, and records are hard to store sometimes. My friend does milk crates. That's how he does, and he has over 400 records. They're actually even cheaper than CDs. They're like 50 cents a piece at garage sales, and like really good records, like stuff as far back as the Beatles and things like that, or even further back if you want to go. He mostly goes into classic rock. Mine's a mixture of classic rock, and I have the odd country, Johnny Cash, Pearl Jam, heavy metal, Pantera's. In fact, Pantera has been to Peterborough. Not in this album, it was the album before that. They've been out since 1983. Their father used to be their record producer. The year I was born, 35 years ago. And back then, Daryl was known as Diamond Daryl. And one of my Facebook friends was at the concert. I'm not going to mention names, so he knows who he is. And he told me who the opening act was, and it was at the Memorial Center. And the opening act was Killer Dwarfs. So if anybody out there, I think it was 87, 31 years ago, they were in Peterborough. Little known fact about Diamond Daryl Hammond, the late Diamond Daryl Hammond, so I'm not going to mention by his Pantera name. He was a really good skateboarder. Other than the guitars, amazing guitars. When it came to shredding, that's a term for heavy metal guitar soloing. He was really good on the skateboard. I have pictures of him when he was a kid, like back in the 80s, when he was touring with his albums that were not as well known. And those, I think, would be heavy collector items. Because really, you don't have the full collection if you can't find those. But I think they're kind of in the family's CD vault, record vault, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. His first car was a 70 Camaro. Another band I like, Megadeth. That actually is one of my favorites. Is it Peace Sells Who's Buying? No, Rust in Peace. Yeah, great album. Dave Mustaine, the boys. That was the Marty Friedman days. Some of the best soloing ever. But when it comes to classic rock, I'm all about this band. I love Led Zeppelin. I love a ton of other classic rock bands. Boston, GFR, Grand Funk Railroad. Yeah, I could go on forever. Aerosmith, as you can see. There's some Canadian content in there. April Wine. Yeah, Big Wreck, of course. I'm actually thinking of getting that signed. If you're wondering why the labels aren't here on the CDs, I'll show you why. Hey, this is my binder. When you open my binder, here's what happens. There's the labels. There's the booklets. They're all there. I've actually seen the full record of that. My cousin William has it. I don't know where it is. Because where it was, well, he probably took it before his mother sold the house. But, oh well. That's just part of life. There's a bunch of other CDs I have. Can you take a wild guess which one was made the year, exact date I was born? 35 years ago. There's an album in amongst those piles of booklets and discs. I'm not giving you any clues, so have fun. Anyways, that was my trivia for today in my CD collection. And all my games, I got a lot. Some really good titles: Borderlands, Driver, San Francisco, Far Cry 2, 50-cent game there, Forza Horizon 3, Halo 3. I love Halo 3. But Halo 3 just gets too easy and monotonous after a while. Midnight Club Los Angeles, Complete Edition. This comes with the 55 Chev and the 64 Impala. Oh, I love those cars. And Need for Speed The Run. It's a cross-country racing game with its crazy twists and turns. The place where I buy all my video games. Iceman. RDR. Pure, one of the best Disney-made ATV racing games ever bought, because you build your own ATV. Saints Row 2. Now it's called Saints Row 2. It's not very. Let's just put it. It's not too Christian. I definitely do not recommend it to children. Something I definitely recommend to kids. Burnout Paradise Remastered. You gotta have a good Burnout. Like an old bacon melt. There's everything in those car games. I just got that one. Far Cry 5, that's another game. I also, you've seen Far Cry 2. Some people don't like it. I actually enjoy it because I know that there's a third ending and how to get to it. GTA 5, I love the Uncharted series. As you can see, you can beat every single one of those games. Watch Dogs 2, I get Watch Dogs, but for some reason it's not like the 360 version. The 360 version's a little better because you're not pivoting all over the place. I even have the strategy guide for it. And there's some of the original boxes for my Nintendo games. Actually, that's a variant box, Super Mario Brothers, and Nintendo made those as security pieces. And a lot of people didn't get that and thought they weren't legal, but they actually are, because you see it says Nintendo Entertainment System. That is totally legitimate. There's proof, distributed by Mattel, and it's got its registered trademark on it. Super Mario 2, Tyson's Punch-Out, Tecmo Bowl, Super Mario 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a Japanese version of Super Mario 64, because I got a Japanese 64 in my collection. There's Nintendo games down there. I got Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3. I got a lot of stuff down there. I'm hoping to go Mega Man all 6. That's going to be hard. The very first one is $100 alone. Have Nintendo games went up in price a little, but not a lot. The most expensive one is going to be probably Panic Restaurant. That's about $2,000 sometimes if it's all complete seal. But it has to have the box and all that. But I think down the road some of these games are going to get more extinct. The only reason I don't have my Nintendo hooked up, I have not got around to cleaning the exterior shell. I just have to do that and it'll be up and going in no time. With the help of a Facebook friend, I was given great advice to use lawn care 40 peroxide. I actually found out also from Gamerade, Adam Korlick, but I needed advice from somebody that knew this stuff. And thankfully they told me a place where I could buy it in Peterborough. So they know who they are. I just want to say thank you. Anyways, and also into Billy Joel. A lot of people don't know that. But Bruce Springsteen. No, I love Bruce. I got even more stuff of his CDs. I got even like double disc sets that are sitting over on shelves. Yep, gotta love the boss. I've seen Collective Soul in concert. I just picked up 5440. Like I said, there's lots of Canadian content. Tragically Hip is actually in storage. I like to keep that stuff hidden, as well as Soundgarden, Tom Petty. It's just, it's personal and it's respectful to the band. I can't play it no more. It breaks my heart, and sometimes I break into tears, and I can't help it. You know, knowing that I lost someone to the same disease, and it's hard to talk about. Um, but that's the sad fact of life, and you know, I don't know if they'll ever find a cure, but hopefully someday they will. Anyways, but there's a lot of great music here. I love Iron Maiden. That's got me through a lot of tough times. That's why I love listening to heavy metal. It deals with your, if you're upset or you're angry and you just want to have one of those days you want to sit down and listen to some music that's pretty hard, and but it deals what Bruce's music is all about is basically, it's about releasing that energy and just enjoying the music, embracing it, but not taking it for real. Once the headphones come off, it is what it is. I've listened to it. I have the best of Frank Zappa, and then I have Overnight Sensation. I also have Chunga's Revenge, 1970. I got it from Moondance before they closed up, but I just got it in storage. I just got to get it back out there. He's one of the few artists I leave sitting there that did pass away from prostate cancer. But I do like listening to Zappa. He's just an amazing musician. I just find it hard for the ones that have recently passed. But see, I wasn't into Zappa when I was younger. And when I did get into Zappa, I couldn't believe how marvelous he is. Lady Gaga actually bought Frank Zappa's house, and she's actually kept the Muffin Utility Research Room, which is his studio. Because we all know Frank Zappa is one of the weirdest, funniest guys when he was living. And he was also in an episode of Miami Vice, so you can always look that up on YouTube. Yeah, he was a movie star, he was a rock and roll star, he was a little bit of everything all rolled into one. That was Frank Zappa right to a T. Dynamo Frank, as they call him. But anyways, that's my collection. And yep, the guitars have a new area, and looks pretty good. And I'm still playing Spider-Man on the 64, trying to figure it out. Yeah, that's a Jungle Green 64. There's a few of them around, but they're a little more rare. The hardest part to find is the box and the expansion piece. I got the expansion drive for it. Expansion pack. Anyways, I must get back to this. You have yourself a great day. See you later. Bye now.